You wake to the scent of damp stone and something else, something sickly sweet that clings to the air and fills your lungs before you are fully conscious. Your body is heavy, limbs sluggish, a dull ache pulsing beneath your skin, radiating from places you don't understand yet. Darkness presses against your eyes, thick and unyielding, and when you try to move, you realize something is wrong. Your arms, no, your wrists are bound. Not with rope, not with something rough that would cut into your skin, but with silk. Soft, delicate, yet unbreakable. Panic surges through you, quick and sharp, but before you can struggle, a voice cuts through the darkness. Shh. It is soft, almost gentle. The voice of someone who has spoken to dolls for too long and forgotten how to address the living. A whisper, a lullaby, a hand pressing down on your chest to keep you still without ever touching you. You mustn't move too much, ma chérie, the voice continues, a sigh wrapped in words. You'll ruin the performance. Your breath catches, the fear clawing at the edges of your mind, sharpening into something more solid, more real. You force your eyes open, blinking against the dim glow of candlelight. The room is cavernous, the air cool and damp, the walls rough stone stretching high into shadows. It takes a moment for your vision to adjust, to take in the strange, terrible beauty of the space around you. A stage. You are on a stage. A wooden platform, its surface smooth and worn, stretching out beneath you. A single gilded chair sits behind you, ornate and antique, its legs curled like the delicate fingers of a dancer mid-motion. Heavy red velvet curtains frame the edges, swaying slightly as if stirred by an unseen breeze. But it is what surrounds the stage that makes the breath catch in your throat. They are watching. Rows of figures seated in old theater chairs, their faces pale in the flickering candlelight, their bodies stiff, their hands poised in unnatural positions. At first, your mind tricks you into thinking they are an audience, spectators waiting for a show to begin, but then you see the strings. Thin, glistening strings stretch from their limbs to the ceiling, disappearing into the darkness above. Their heads tilt at odd angles, their eyes frozen open, glassy and unseeing. They are not watching. They are not alive. A strangled sound rises in your throat, but before it can become a scream, you feel it. Your own strings. Not real strings, not silk, but something inside you, something wrong. You try to move, but your limbs respond with an eerie foreign resistance. Your arms do not bend the way they should. Your legs do not hold weight the way they used to. The ache you woke up with sharpens into something unbearable, a deep twisting pain that turns your breath into short, gasping bursts. And then you understand. Your body's not your own anymore. Your joints, your elbows, your knees, your wrists have been taken apart and put back together again. A sob claws its way up your throat, your stomach twisting with nausea, with horror, with something too overwhelming to name. You feel the weight of yourself in pieces, the unnatural slack in your limbs, the way they only hold form because someone has arranged them that way. Shh, the voice murmurs again, and out of the shadows he steps forward. Lucien Moreau. He is tall, dressed in black, his salt and pepper hair neatly combed, his hands gloved, his posture as poised as the dancers he has stolen. His face is kind, in the way that marble statues are kind. Cold, empty, crafted to mimic warmth without ever having truly possessed it. He looks at you the way an artist looks at an unfinished painting, with something like admiration, something like ownership. There now, he says, tilting his head as he watches you struggle against the limits of your own broken body. You mustn't cry. This is a great honor. You can barely breathe, barely form a thought through the panic, through the searing pain radiating from every joint. But somehow you manage to force the words past your lips. What? What did you do to me? Lucien sighs, almost wistful, as he steps closer, reaching out to brush a strand of hair from your face with the gentleness of a father soothing a child. I made you perfect. You flinch away from his touch, or at least you try to, but your body doesn't move the way you expect. The motion is delayed, unnatural, your arm twitching as if it belongs to something else entirely. Lucian watches this with quiet fascination, his eyes alight with something you cannot name. "You are my Odette now," he says, stepping back as if admiring his work. "My swan, and tonight you will dance." The meaning of his words sinks in slowly, like ink bleeding through paper, staining everything it touches. He has done this before. He has done this to others. The bodies in the audience, the lifeless marionettes, the carefully positioned corpses. This is not the first performance, and it will not be the last. You are not a prisoner. You are a prop, and the show must go on. Lucian watches you with a patient kind of satisfaction, the way a sculptor might admire a block of marble before the first chisel strike, already seeing the shape within, already knowing how he will carve away the excess. He moves with precision, each step unhurried, each motion deliberate, as if he has done this 1,000 times before, as if the weight of your horror is nothing more than a familiar script playing out again. Your breathing is shallow, each inhale sharp, painful, like your ribs are caging in something that wants to escape. You try again to move, to pull your arm forward, to bend your knee, but the pain comes fast and brutal, blooming through your limbs like fire. There is a wrongness in your joints, something unnatural in the way your body shifts. Too loose, too unstable, as if your bones have been tampered with, disassembled and restructured into something that mimics human movement, but is not quite right. Lucian tilts his head, studying you, his expression unreadable. "You mustn't resist," he says, his voice soft, almost kind, the way a teacher might correct a stubborn student. "Your body is still learning. It is not used to its new limits." New limits. The words settle in your stomach like lead. You want to ask what he has done, how he has done it, how long you have been unconscious, but the truth is already curling at the edges of your mind like smoke, seeping into the spaces you don't want to acknowledge. You know what he has done. You can feel it in every fractured movement, in the unnatural looseness of your limbs, in the way your body obeys only halfway before hesitating, waiting for guidance, waiting for him. Because that is what he wants. Not just control, not just obedience, performance. Lucian moves to the edge of the stage, where a long wooden box rests just beneath the curtain. He unlatches it with a quiet, practiced ease, lifting the lid to reveal silk ribbons, delicate and gleaming in the dim candlelight. At first they seem beautiful, elegant, the kind you've tied around your ankles before a ballet, the kind that should symbolize grace. But when he lifts them, you see the thin wires woven within, the way they glint with something sharper, something metallic. Puppet strings. Your stomach lurches, the realization hitting like a blade pressed too suddenly to flesh. He isn't just dressing you up like a dancer, isn't just forcing you into a role. He is turning you into one of them, the ones in the seats, the ones who never move on their own. "No," you whisper, the word slipping from your lips before you can stop it. Your voice is hoarse, strained, barely more than breath, but Lucian hears it. He pauses, looking at you with something almost like amusement. "No." Your throat is dry, your pulse hammering against the inside of your skull, but you force the word out again, stronger this time. "No." Lucian sighs, shaking his head as if you are a child refusing to do something simple, something necessary. "Marie," he says, his tone patient, almost disappointed, "do you know why Odette suffers?" You don't answer. You don't trust your voice to hold steady. Lucian doesn't need a response. He steps closer, the silk ribbons trailing from his fingers, his expression turning thoughtful. "She resists," he murmurs. "She fights against what she is meant to become, and because of that, she is cursed." The words send a shiver through you, a deep, crawling dread that sinks beneath your skin and settles in your bones. Lucian reaches for your wrist, his touch gentle, careful, as he loops the first ribbon around it, tying it in an elegant knot. The silk is soft, but the wire beneath presses cold against your skin, a quiet promise of restraint, of control. "I want you to be my perfect Odette," he says, securing another ribbon around your other wrist, his fingers moving with a careful precision that makes your stomach churn. "But I will not force you. You must choose it, Marie. You must surrender to it. Your hands tremble, your breath coming faster now, panic rising in your chest like a tide you cannot hold back. And if I don't, Lucian meets your gaze, his eyes dark, unreadable. Then slowly he turns his head toward the audience, toward the rows of lifeless figures bound to their seats by invisible strings. The answer is clear. He will make you one of them, a permanent dancer, a performer who never leaves the stage. Your breath shudders, your mind racing for something, anything, any way out. But Lucian is already lifting the final ribbons, already reaching for your ankles. The dance is about to begin. Lucian hums softly as he tightens the silk ribbons around your ankles. The melody eerily familiar, something from an old ballet, something you've danced to before. His fingers work with the precision of a man who has done this countless times, adjusting the knots, ensuring the wires beneath the silk rest snug against your skin. There is no malice in his movements, no indication that he sees this as cruelty. If anything, his expression is one of quiet satisfaction, the pride of an artist putting the final touches on his masterpiece. You try to breathe evenly, to keep your body still as he works, but every instinct screams at you to run, to fight, to do something, anything, but you know you can't. Your legs are not your own anymore, not in the way they used to be. Every shift, every motion feels unnatural, disconnected, like a marionette waiting for its puppeteer to give it life. The ribbons are tight now, snug against your wrists and ankles, trailing off into the darkness above, disappearing into the unseen mechanisms hidden within the catacomb ceiling. The candlelight flickers, making the silk shimmer like something alive, like veins pulsing beneath your skin. Lucian steps back, tilting his head as he examines his work. Then he reaches for something behind him, something just out of sight. A small wooden control bar, the kind used in traditional marionette performances. It is elegant, hand-carved, the strings stretching from it, connecting to the ribbons that bind you. You go cold. I find that control is an art form, Lucian murmurs, running his fingers along the wooden edges of the controller. It is not enough to move the body, one must capture the soul. He lifts the bar slightly, his grip firm yet delicate. The movement is so small, so subtle, that for a moment you don't feel anything. Then your arm rises. Not of your own accord, not by your own will. The pull is gentle at first, a slow, measured lift that forces your fingers to extend, your wrist to bend at an unnatural angle. It is precise, controlled, as if Lucian is testing the limits of his creation. You try to resist, try to pull your arm back down, but there is no strength in the limb, no way to fight the force guiding it. Lucian watches closely, adjusting his grip on the bar. Your other arm lifts, your fingers trembling as they spread into an elegant but forced curve, the position eerily reminiscent of the opening pose of Swan Lake. Your stomach twists, nausea rising as you realize what is happening, what he is doing. He is making you dance. The strings tug at your ankles next, guiding one foot forward, then the other. Slow, deliberate steps that drag you across the wooden stage in an unnatural glide. The pain in your joints is distant now, muted beneath the sheer horror of your body's betrayal, beneath the awful knowledge that you are nothing more than a doll in Lucian's hands. The seated figures in the audience remain motionless, their glassy eyes reflecting the flickering candlelight, their expressions frozen in eerie, silent approval. You wonder how many of them danced before you, how many of them were guided across this same stage before their strings became permanent, before they could no longer resist. Lucian hums again, a slow, haunting tune as he moves the controller in careful, practiced motions. Your body responds without hesitation, bending into an arabesque, your arms lifting gracefully despite the sheer terror clawing at your mind. The ribbons tighten, holding you in place, balancing you on the tips of your toes, forcing your body into the illusion of control even as you feel more helpless than ever. You see, Lucian says softly, watching you with admiration. Perfection. Your chest heaves, your breath ragged, but you cannot stop moving. A turn, a slow, elegant spin that should feel effortless but does not. your limbs bending and shifting in ways they were never meant to. Lucian guides you gently, like a maestro conducting a delicate symphony, his eyes gleaming with something reverent, something bordering on love. The performance continues. You do not know how long he makes you dance. Your body is exhausted, your muscles screaming beneath the forced grace, your mind a haze of panic and pain. The candles burn lower, their wax dripping onto the stage like melted flesh. The catacombs hold their silence, their walls unmoved by your suffering. Then finally Lucian stops. Your limbs collapse the moment the tension in the strings releases, your knees hitting the stage with a dull thud, your body trembling with exhaustion. Sweat clings to your skin, the scent of damp stone thicken your lungs, but you barely notice. Lucian exhales slowly, as if coming down from something euphoric. He sets the controller aside, stepping forward, crouching beside you. His gloved hand brushes against your cheek, pushing damp strands of hair away from your face with something almost affectionate. "You were magnificent," he murmurs. "You want to scream, you want to sob, but all you can do is breathe, your body too weak to do anything else." Lucian smiles satisfied, and in the flickering candlelight, the audience watches, their lifeless expressions locked in eternal applause. You are still on the stage when he lifts you again, your body no longer yours, your limbs obeying a force you cannot fight. The exhaustion sits deep in your bones, a heavy, sinking weight, but Lucian's strings do not care for your fatigue. His hands, steady on the wooden control bar, lift your arms with precision, guiding you back onto your feet as though you are nothing more than a marionette waiting for its master's command. Your knees shake, but the strings hold firm. You are standing again, whether you want to or not. Lucien steps toward you, his expression calm, his pale eyes gleaming with quiet satisfaction. He is not breathing heavily, not even winded, though he has just forced you through an entire performance against your will. His hands are steady, his posture poised, as though this was not an act of control, but rather an artistic endeavor, a creation unfolding exactly as he envisioned. "Dancers often resist at first," he says, tilting his head as he watches you struggle to remain upright. "But in time they learn, they surrender. You can feel the strings pulling against your wrists, the silk pressing into your skin, the cold wires beneath biting with the faintest hint of pressure. Not enough to cut, not enough to wound, but enough to remind you that they are there, that they are stronger than you." Lucian steps behind you, his fingers adjusting the tension on the control bar, testing the weight of your movements. Your shoulders tighten as your arms lift again, slow, deliberate, curving into a pose you should know well. But the motion is wrong, disconnected from the natural grace you once had. The pain radiates through your body in slow, pulsing waves, the ache in your joints a cruel echo of whatever he has done to you. You are not moving, you are being moved. Lucian hums softly, a familiar melody, something from Swan Lake, something you have danced to 100 times before. But the sound is different here in this place. It is colder, emptier, carrying a weight of something you do not want to name. He steps forward, guiding you with small, subtle shifts of the strings. Your body obeys, though every instinct screams at you to resist, to fight. But there is no fighting this. There is no undoing what he has done to you. "You were meant for this," Lucian says quietly, his voice close to your ear now. "You may not see it yet, but I do. I saw it the moment I first watched you dance." His words send a shiver through you, bile rising in your throat as memories surface. Memories of the ballet studio, of rehearsals, of the feeling of eyes on you when you walked home at night, the faint unease that had lingered at the edges of your awareness. Had he been watching you even then? Studying you? Choosing you? "You have the perfect form," he continues, his voice smooth, hypnotic. "Your lines, your balance. But you lacked something before. You lacked submission. True dancers, true performers, they do not simply move. They allow themselves to be moved." The strings tighten slightly, pulling you forward, forcing you into another step. Your body obeys before you can stop it. your muscles aching from the strain of staying upright, from the sheer exhaustion weighing down every inch of you. Lucian turns you gently, positioning you like a doll being arranged in a shop window. You are so close to perfection now, he murmurs, more to himself than to you. But there is still resistance. His fingers tighten on the control bar. Your knee bends suddenly, forced into an unnatural dip, your leg folding beneath you in a way that sends a sharp burst of pain through your nerves. You gasp, the sound escaping before you can hold it back, your body trembling as you try to steady yourself. Lucian sighs. You do not trust me yet. The words are almost mournful, as though this is a great disappointment to him. He crouches slightly, his fingers brushing against your cheek, his touch unnervingly gentle. I will fix that. The words send a bolt of cold terror through your chest. You do not know what he means, but you know it will be worse than anything he has done so far. Lucian steps back from you, his fingers still resting lightly on the control bar, his eyes locked onto yours with an expression of quiet contemplation, as if he is considering his next move, his next masterpiece. You can feel the strings tighten, the silk ribbons pressing against your skin like a lover's embrace, like shackles disguised as something beautiful. Every muscle in your body is screaming for rest, for stillness, but he does not allow it. You are his dancer, and the performance is not over. He tilts his head slightly, listening, as if waiting for something. The only sounds in the vast chamber are your uneven breathing, the faint rustle of fabric as the lifeless audience sits frozen in eternal observation, and the distant dripping of water from some unseen crack in the stone above. Time has lost its meaning here. There are no windows, no clocks, nothing to mark the passing hours, only the dim, flickering candlelight casting long, twisted shadows against the cold walls. Then he speaks. You are almost ready, he murmurs, adjusting the strings slightly, making you shift on your feet, making your arms lift once more into a delicate curve. But there is still resistance in you. That is not how this ends, Marie. The way he says your name makes your skin crawl. You don't want to hear it from his lips, don't want to exist in the version of reality he has created, where you are nothing more than a figure in his twisted ballet, a puppet waiting to be perfected. Somewhere deep inside, beneath the exhaustion, beneath the pain, a flicker of something ignites, not surrender, not fear, but anger. He has taken everything from you, your body, your movement, your control, but he has not yet taken your mind. Lucian lifts the control bar again, guiding you into another slow, elegant motion. But this time, you do something different. You let yourself fall. It is not much, just a shift in weight, a tiny loss of balance that forces the strings to work against you, to compensate. The silk bites into your skin as they pull taut, the unseen wires straining to hold you upright. Lucian frowns slightly, his hands adjusting their grip, his mind already working to correct your movement. You do it again. This time, you let your head drop forward as if in exhaustion, your body sagging slightly. The response is immediate. Lucian tightens the strings, forcing you upright again, his control over your body absolute. But you have felt it now, the way he reacts, the way he adjusts. And in that reaction, you find your opening. You take a breath, steadying yourself as best you can, and then, without warning, you collapse completely. The pain is immediate and brutal, your knees hitting the wooden stage with a sickening crack, your body pulling against the strings in ways they were not designed to. The control bar jerks violently in Lucian's hands as he struggles to compensate, his fingers tightening in an effort to force you back into position. But you do not let him. You thrash against the wires, against the silk binding you, twisting your body in unnatural, erratic ways, making the tension unbearable, making it impossible for him to control all of you at once. You hear something snap, not from your body but from above. One of the strings gives way, the pressure too much, the mechanism above unable to handle the chaos you have created. Lucian's breath catches, his posture stiffening as the control bar jolts in his grip. He is not used to this. He is not used to resistance. For the first time since this nightmare began, you have unsettled him, and that is all you need. With a final desperate effort, you twist again, using what little strength remains in your limbs to send yourself tumbling sideways off the stage. The world tilts, the candlelight blurring, the scent of damp stone rushing toward you as you fall. The strings jerk violently, yanking Lucian's hands forward, his grip slipping for just a moment, just long enough. The control bar crashes to the floor beside you. The wires slacken, and suddenly your body is yours again. The pain is excruciating, but you do not stop. You drag yourself forward, your legs barely able to hold your weight, every motion a battle against the agony pulsing through your joints. Lucian is behind you, cursing under his breath, moving quickly to retrieve the control bar, to regain his hold over you before it is too late. You do not let him. Your hands grasp at the first thing you can reach, a rusted metal candelabra standing near the stage, its wax-dripped frame solid beneath your fingers. With a cry that is equal parts pain and fury, you heave it upward and swing. The metal connects with Lucian's temple with a sickening thud. He staggers, his breath hitching, his hands flying up instinctively as he reels from the blow. You do not wait. You swing again and again. The third strike sends him crashing to the floor. His breathing is ragged now, uneven. Blood pools beneath his head, dark and glistening in the candlelight, soaking into the cracks between the wooden planks of the stage. His fingers twitch slightly, reaching for something unseen, for control that is no longer his. You step back, the candelabra slipping from your trembling hands, your breath coming in short, uneven bursts. The silence that follows is deafening, stretching through the vast chamber, filling the space where Lucian's voice once was. And then, slowly, you turn. The lifeless figures in the audience remain as they were, their frozen expressions unchanged. But in the flickering light, in the heavy stillness of the catacombs, you could almost swear the weight of their eyes is gone, that the invisible strings binding them have finally loosened. You do not wait to find out. You run. Your body screams in protest, every step sending fresh waves of pain through your shattered limbs. But you do not stop. You stumble past the stage, past the rows of silent spectators, past the heavy curtains and the darkened corridors beyond. The catacombs stretch before you like a maze, twisting and endless. But you do not let the fear consume you. Somewhere above, there is a way out. Somewhere above, there is light. And you will find it, because the performance is over, and the strings are broken.